Hello, everyone, and happy Monday or happy Tuesday if you're
Hello.
already on Tuesday. So, welcome back to another episode of the Global Digital Success
Talks.
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 Yes.
Okay, so let's find out what is our topic for today.
Well, you're welcome today. Our topic today is how AI is changing everyday life and why that's good news for long life learners. Thank you as we join us today.
Thank you, Christiana. So, yeah, that's our topic for today. But before we dive into our topic, let us introduce ourselves. So, hi, everyone. My name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but currently reside in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor.
Hi, everyone. My name is Christiana. Happy and blessed Monday. I am originally from Nigeria. I am a registered nurse by profession. I reside in Texas. I am a proud digital business owner and also a mentor. Thank you. Back to you, Jesse.
Happy Monday, my people. Hi, everyone. My name is Yesenia. For everyone that knows me, but also everyone knows me as Jessie. I'm a nurse by profession. I live here in Ontario, Canada, but I'm original from Cuba. I have my business online and I'm a mentor at the same time.
Hi everyone, my name is Maimuna Diallo. I'm from West Africa, living in New York. Mom of four, proud of digital business owner.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. My name is Isabel. I am originally from Mexico. I reside in North Carolina. I am a wife, a mother, a grandmother. I'm also a former educational assistant and now a digital business owner and mentor.
Thank you, everyone. So, let's dive into our topic for today.
All right, so stay with us. We're going to talk here in Global Digital Success Talk about how AI is changing every life and what that is good news for a lifelong learner. So stay with us.
Thank you, Jesse. So, that's our topic for today. So, welcome back to another episode of the Global Digital Success Talk. So, we would like to begin with a simple question, and that is, when you hear the words artificial intelligence, what is the first thing that comes to mind? For some people, it is excitement. For others, it's uncertainty. But throughout history, every major innovation has changed the way we live and work. So the people who benefit the most weren't necessarily the smartest, they were the ones who were willing to learn. So today, let's explore why AI is creating exciting possibilities for lifelong learners. And for that, we're going to be talking about the following points.
Okay, today's point number one is AI rewards curious people. Number two, AI makes learning more accessible. Number three, human skills become even more valuable. Number four, adaptability is becoming a competitive advantage. Then the last point is AI gives us more time to focus on what matters the most. Please be with us as we discuss these following points. Thank you.
Thank you, Christiana. So, yeah, those are the points we're going to be talking today. So, let's dive into our first point.
Okay, our first point today is AI rewards curious people. AI is a tool that responds to curiosity. AI can be very useful, but we have to interact with it. When we are curious and we are willing to explore, we begin to discover different ways AI can help us do our work, business, our education, and even everyday lives. The better question we ask, the better answers we often receive. Sometimes when people say, AI don't give me what I wanted, the problem may be simply because, for example, instead of asking, give me a business idea, you can explain your situation, your audience, and what you are trying to accomplish. So you have to give your AI a detailed, enough details for your AI to come up with the kind of
Oh,
question
that's
or the kind of answer you need. The more specific and thoughtful the question is, the more useful the response will be. Curiosity helps us discover new ideas. Think about something you normally spend a long time trying to figure out. Instead of getting stuck, or you can use AI to brainstorm possibilities, explain something you don't understand, or even help you look at a particular problem and maybe make some solution. We help you with some solutions. Like sometimes when I'm stuck in a particular thing, maybe I'm doing maybe Facebook, or I'm doing a particular work, I can quickly go to my AI tools and say, okay, this. Before you know it, it comes out with you come up with something reasonable enough. Learning how to ask thoughtful questions becomes an important skills. We don't have to know everything about technology, but we should learn how to communicate clearly with these tools. Ask good questions, give context, and follow up with another question. And this can make a big difference when you're using your AI tools. People who remain curious continue developing, discovering new possibilities. Technology will continue changing. We may not know what the next tools will be. Now we are in the era of AI. We don't even know what we are going to expect later. What if we remain we maintain the mindset of let me learn, let me try, let me understand how this work. We won't be afraid of every new changes. We'll be prepared to learn from it. So my reflection today is technology changes, but curiosity will always remain one of our greatest strengths. Then our takeaway today is stay curious, be because curiosity helps you grow with every new tools. I pass it back to Sandy. Thank you.
Thank you, Christiana. So, Christiana talked about AI rewards curious people. Just like Christiana mentioned, when you ask those thoughtful questions, that help you to unlock better insights, spark new ideas, and also help us continue learning and growing with every new tool. So that's why AI rewards curious people. All right, so let's move on to our next point. Oh,
All right.
actually,
Or
before, sorry, Jesse.
oh, that's okay.
We also have a comment from Christiana. Stay curious, keep learning, and keep asking questions. AI is a powerful tool, but the real power begins with our willingness to learn how to use it. Back to you, Jesse.
Okay, so our next point is AI make learning more accessible. And this is a big one, because one of the biggest advantage of AI is that you don't have to learn at someone else's pace. Learning doesn't happen, it doesn't have to happen in a classroom or according to someone else's schedule anymore. AI can help you to learn when you are ready because learning can happen at your own pace. You can ask to AI. We all know, you know. You can ask again and ask them. Oh, can you give me a simple explanation? Can you give me some examples? You you can practice, continuously and rapidly with AI, and this is big for us. AI can help us to break things down, break complicate information, but because we know when we're learning we found everything complicated. And then we avoid learning because it feels too complicated. So technology, finances, marketing, language, business, or everything, it can become simple with a new app. Oh, oh, we all know. I think I was walking on the street and I hear people already talking to their friend, ChatGPT. Tell me what this is or what is that. Or I see people as well, Meta. You think they're talking with someone, but they're right there with their glasses, yeah, and they're like Meta, talking to Meta. you know because it can simplify information, make it easier. And that's good because we can use that app, we can use the resource of AI, and it can help us to, step by step, can help us to understand information that maybe a little bit more complicated, than what we think, or maybe we make on our mindset that's something, oh, I will never learn French, but then I have here Duolingo and I'm having some classes the French. It's not that amazing. Also, you don't need to know everything to start learning, and this is really important. I started 2 weeks ago learning Italian. I don't know how it's going to go. I will believe EIA, and I will try my best. But it will help me, because I can do it on my own space. I can learn in just 10 minutes, and that's why EI. I can ask different questions. Learn at my own pace. Sometimes you are more able to someone explain you something, and sometimes you don't get it right away. You need like a little more simple, like more human answer, or like that we say, oh my gosh, can you explain me this equation? And then they explain it to you so well, and you're like, you're still speaking another language because you don't get it. But that is good because we can use this AI to give us the knowledge and explain us and help us to understand a message. So I think one of the most exciting things about technology is that learning is not longer, a limit for us. Doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter your location, whatever you are, and you have access to the internet and the AI. It will make it. You will have better opportunity. Maybe there is something you want to learn. Maybe there is an app for there, how to cook, how to do anything. You always will find something that will help you to learn. You don't know, you don't have to know everything. You just have to have the willing to learn something new, as Christina was saying. And that's why AI can be such a good news for life learners, beginners, because the ability to keep learning is one of the most valuable skills we can develop. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you, Jesse. So Jesse talked about AI makes learning more accessible. Just like Jesse mentioned, why is it that it makes it more accessible? Because it helps people, understand complex ideas more easily. Just like Jesse was explaining about simplifying an equation that you couldn't understand. Also, it helps you to learn at your own pace and also continue growing throughout every stage of your life. So uh, Jesse also added, it's never too late to earning something new. So there you go. So now let's move on to our next point.
The next point is a human skill become even more valuable. The third reason AI is good news for lifelong learning is that our human skills are become even more valuable. Artificial intelligence can process information quickly. It can organize data, identification pattern, summarize and document and generate the idea in seconds. But processing information is not the same as understanding people. AI might help us write a message, but we must decide whether the message is thoughtful or appropriate or compassionate. AI might suggest solution, but we must determine whatever the solution is reflected to our value or and service to people who are involved. That is where human skill become essential. We bring empathy to ability to understand how another person might be feeling, bringing creativity, the ability to imagine something meaningful and originally. We bring wisdom to ability to combine knowledge with experience and good judgment. Communication also remain important. Powerful, pow- powerful idea has limited value. If we cannot explain it clearly, listen to the other perspective and build trust, leadership will continue. is require emotional intelligence. Strong leadership do no more than analyzing information. They encourage people, resolve conflict, make difficult decisions, and accept responsibility for the result. And the relationship will continue to be built by people, not by machine. Technology might help us connect, but genuinely connection is still require attention, respect, patience, and care. So AI become more capable. We should not focus only on developing technical skill. We should also strongly the quality to make us unique human. We should become better listener, better communicator, more creative thinking, more compassionate leader, and wise decision maker. The goal is not to compete with machine. It to be is to be in with the machine. The goal is to use technology effectively while become even more, even better, being human. The reflection technology can support us, but character or compassion or integrity remain unique human. The takeaway today is the takeaway is to develop the skill that technology cannot replace. Thank you.
Thank you, Maimona. So, Maimona talk about human skills become even more valuable. And just like Maimona mentioned, as AI advances, it's good, technology, but when you combine that technology with the human skills like empathy, creativity, communication, integrity, and emotional intelligence, that become even more valuable because they are essential for building trust, leading others, and strengthening relationships. So that's why human skills becomes even more valuable when you combine it with AI. And also, Christiana added, AI can process information quickly. So I agree with this 100% because what takes humans hours can take AI a few seconds. So we all need AI. Okay, so let's move on to our next point.
Okay. So adaptability is becoming a competitive advantage. One thing my journey has taught me is that the ability to adapt can be just as valuable as experience was already have. You know, for over 20 years, I knew how to succeed in the corporate world because that's what I did every day. I already knew how everything worked. I knew my job, my responsibilities, and the environment I was comfortable in. But when life changed, I realized that what worked for me for one chapter wasn't necessarily going to work for the next. I had to learn new technology, new ways of communicating, and completely new skills. And honestly, starting over as a beginner was uncomfortable. And it's always uncomfortable to learn something new. That's for everyone. But every time I learned something new, I became less afraid of what was unfamiliar. A lot of times we stay stuck in the same place because we're so afraid to take that next step. And, once we take that step, we learn that it's not as bad as we think. So you start adapting in unfamiliar environments. And that's when I realized adaptability doesn't mean abandoning your who you are. You don't forget who you are. It means being willing to add new skills to everything you already learned. And this is especially important to busy moms like us. We already carry years of experience, resilience, problem solving, and life lessons. Imagine what Imagine what becomes possible when we combine the experience with willingness to learn something new. You don't have to compete with anyone who started 10 years ago. You simply have to remain willing to grow. Because at the end, the world will continue changing. The question is not whether it's change is coming. The question is, will you be prepared to adapt to what's uh, coming? So today, I want to leave you with this. Your experience is your foundation. Your willingness to learn is what helps you build the next level. Thank you, and back to you, Sandy.
Thank you, Isabel. So Isabel talk about adaptability is becoming a competitive advantage. And just like Isabel mentioned, when you you are open to be adaptable because you're willing to keep learning, that will help you, to be able to embrace change and to be able to improve continuously. Because by doing those things, it will help you to prepare you to the world that is constantly changing and evolving. So that's why adaptability is becoming a competitive advantage. So if you have that skill to be able to adapt and adjust along the way, that's a totally great advantage for you when using, AI. And Isabel also mentioned, your willingness to learn can turn change from something you fear into something you're prepared to navigate. So there you go. All right, so now let's move on to our next point. So our next point is AI give us more time to focus on what matter most. So one of the greatest benefits of AI isn't that it helps us to do more, is that it can help us make better use of our time. So many of the repetitive tasks that once took us hours can now be completely much more efficiently, just like Christiana was mentioned on her comment. That doesn't mean that we stop thinking or we stop contributing. Instead, it gives us the opportunity to focus our energy on the things that only people can do. So when we save time, we have a choice. So we can use it to continue learning, solve meaningful problems, or strengthen our relationships, or simply be more present with the people who matter most. So technology should never become a distraction that fills every free moment. It should become a tool that creates more space for purpose, for growth, and for connection. So I experienced that in my own journey. Learning to use AI has helped me organize ideas, prepare content, and work more efficiently. Instead of spending all my time on repetitive tasks, I can decide more time to learning new skills, mentoring others, and creating meaningful conversations and being present with my family. That reminds me that technology is at the best when it supports our priorities rather than replacing them. So the same is true for all of us. AI can replace compassion, wisdom, and encouragement or genuine relationships. Those are still our responsibility. The time we gain through technology becomes valuable only when we invest it intentionally in what matters most. So, as today's reflection reminds us, the greatest benefit of technology is not doing more, it's creating more time for what matters most. So, here is a message for you guys. Use technology wisely so you can invest more time in learning, serving others, solving meaningful problems, and also building the relationships that bring purpose and lasting value to your lives. So that's what I wanted to share for this point. Now, let's find out what is our key takeaway for this topic.
Okay, artificial intelligence is changing the world, but it doesn't change one important truth. The people who continue learning will continue growing. Don't allow technology to intimidate you. Allow it to inspire your curiosity. Learn one new tool, ask one more question, and develop one more skill. Because the future doesn't belong only to people who understand technology, it belongs to the people who are willing to keep learning throughout their lives.
Thank you, Isabel. So that's our key takeaway for our topic today. So now let's find out what is our message for the audience.
So, our message for you this week, challenge yourself to explore one tool you never used before, one AI tool. You don't have to master it, simply become familiar with it. Ask yourself, how could this help me learn, solve a problem, or become more efficient or effective in my everyday life? Small discoveries today often become a valuable skill tomorrow. So we are challenging you.
Thank you, Jesse. So that's our message for the audience. And now we have arrived to the end of our life. So what we shared today was how AI is changing everyday life and why that's a good news for lifelong learners. So as we talk today, Remember that AI is not there to replace your potential, but instead to expand it. So always stay curious, always keep learning, always and strengthen those human qualities that technology cannot replace. And use every new tool as an opportunity to be able to grow, to be able to serve others, and to be able to create a future filled with purpose and possibility. So, with that, we end our topic for today. And now let's find out what is our topic for next Monday.
The topic is next Monday, how to build personal learning system that actually work.
Thank you, Moimona. So, yeah, so that's our topic for next Monday. So, it will be a conversation about creating simple daily learning habits, staying consistent, and avoiding information overload, and building a lifelong system for continuous personal and professional growth. So, we have arrived to the end of our lives. We want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the live with us today. For those catching the replay, thank you so much. And to our followers, thank you so much for being part of our journey, for believing in us, and for engaging with our content. We want to wish everyone a happy and blessed Monday for those who are on Monday, and a happy and blessed Tuesday for those who are already on Tuesday, and a happy and blessed week ahead for everyone. So, thank you again for being here with us today, and we'll see you again in our next episode of the Global Digital Success.
Talks.
Ah.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye for
Bye,
now.
everyone.
Bye.